The Power of Now. Journey to the Present Moment. A Guide to Peace and Awareness. Copyright 2024 NLP Radio. Introduction. Have you ever felt that there's something deeper than what you see in your everyday life? A vague yet familiar sense that everything you know is just the tip of an iceberg hidden beneath the surface. Perhaps you've wondered why you are always searching for something you don't yet know, or why, in moments when everything should feel perfect, there's still an unspoken feeling inside you challenging your contentment. This feeling is a whisper from deep within, a voice calling you to a journey towards something beyond ordinary understanding. This book is about finding that lost part of yourself. It's a quest to discover a reality hidden behind the veils of time and space, a reality you will only uncover when you let go of everything you think you know. You've come across these pages not by coincidence, but perhaps because something has led you to this moment. The book you hold in your hands is not a map that tells you what awaits you. Rather, it is a light illuminating an unknown path. A path that can only be seen when you dare to question all your previous assumptions. Are you ready? Ready to discover a truth that is different from what you've believed so far? If so, this book offers a journey only you can begin. Chapter 1. Inner Awakening, starting the journey to the present moment. Have you ever asked yourself who you truly are? Are you the voice that constantly speaks in your mind, or something deeper, hidden in the silence behind your thoughts? Every day, our thoughts relentlessly move between a past that no longer exists and a future that hasn't yet arrived. But are you really the thoughts that tell you who you are, or is there something beyond them? Inner awakening is a journey that begins with one question. What lies beyond this mental noise? In this chapter, you will face the truth that the identity you've defined yourself by is merely a shadow of your true reality. We spend most of our lives within the walls of our minds, where thoughts, worries, and future plans dominate everything. But what happens if you set all that aside? What remains? Awakening from this state means separating yourself from the mind and the thoughts you've always identified with. When you step into the present moment, you realize that you and the world around you are more connected than you ever imagined. This might be the first time you truly feel real presence, not with thought, but with an inner sense experienced in the now. But how can one escape this mental prison? The answer is simple, yet challenging. The first step is to observe your thoughts as a witness. Whenever a thought crosses your mind, instead of getting lost in it, simply watch it. This is the first step in a journey that separates you from your mental identity and leads you toward a new reality. The question now before you is this: are you ready to face the truth? The truth that you are neither your thoughts nor your past. You are something far greater than these. Chapter 2. Peace of mind, freedom from negative thoughts. How many times a day have you found yourself trapped in negative thoughts? Thoughts that endlessly circulate in your mind, dragging you into a past filled with regret or a future full of worry. These thoughts are so powerful that sometimes you forget they are simply creations of your mind. But why do these thoughts have such control over us? And how can we break free from this constant cycle? Negative thoughts are like dark clouds that block the sunlight. They are not reality but a veil that covers the truth and separates us from the present moment. Our minds naturally gravitate towards these thoughts as they try to protect us from potential future dangers or teach us lessons from past mistakes. However, this approach often leads to stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction because instead of living in the present, we get caught up in scenarios that haven't happened yet or no longer exist. The first step in freeing yourself from these negative thoughts is to recognize them. Every time a negative thought appears in your mind, rather than getting lost in it, simply observe it. Look at it without judgment. Is this thought really true? Is the thought telling you that you can't or that you've lost something real, or is it just a mental fear? With this observational perspective, negative thoughts lose their power. Here's an exercise that might help. Every time a negative thought comes to mind, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and focus your attention on your breathing. This simple act brings you back to the present moment and frees your mind from the trap of negative thoughts. In this moment, the negative thoughts no longer have control over you because you have become aware of them. Now, the question is, if you can ignore negative thoughts, what remains in your mind? Can you feel the peace you've always been searching for? With these simple practices, freedom from negative thoughts becomes possible, and the peace you seek is found right here in the present moment. Chapter 3. Time and its illusion. Have you ever felt trapped by a past that no longer exists or worried about a future that has not yet arrived? Have you ever wondered why there's always something in your mind pulling you away from what's happening right now? This is a familiar phenomenon for many of us. Your mind swings between past memories and future anxieties, but reality lies elsewhere, in the present moment. Time, as we know it, is a mental construct. The past exists only in your mind, and the future is merely an imagination. Yet, these two occupy most of our mental energy. When you think about past mistakes or fear the future, you are engaging in a kind of illusion. This illusion of time prevents you from experiencing the present moment and keeps the mind trapped in a cycle of endless anxiety, worry, and regret. You may ask yourself, if the past and future exist only in my mind, how can I free myself from them? The answer is simple but requires practice. You can escape the trap of psychological time by bringing your attention to the present moment. Here's a practice to begin with. Whenever you find yourself thinking about the past or future, look around and focus on the details of the world around you. What can you see, hear, or feel that exists right now in this moment? This simple practice helps free your mind from the chains of time and brings you back to the present. But there's an important question. Why is our mind so attached to the past and the future? Why is it so hard to let go of psychological time? The answer lies in the fact that the human mind, for survival reasons, has developed a habit of constantly thinking about the future and reviewing the past. Our minds are always evaluating different scenarios to protect us. However, in the modern world, this mechanism, instead of helping us, drowns us in anxiety and stress. The present moment is the only reality you can experience. The past and the future are illusions your mind has created. So the question is, can you free yourself from this illusion? Can you be fully present in the moment that exists now, without worrying about the future or regretting the past? Every time you experience the present moment, you take a step closer to liberation. And this liberation not only frees your mind but also brings you real peace. The present moment is the key to returning to real life, where time doesn't exist, and only you and what surrounds you remain. Chapter 4. The true self and the ego, separating from the artificial self. Deep within yourself, who are you? Are you the person you live with every day, or is there something beyond that which you haven't yet discovered? For many of us, we identify ourselves with the thoughts that constantly move through our minds from morning to night, that inner voice telling us who we are and what we should do. However, this inner voice, which constantly evaluates and judges you, is part of something bigger called the ego, or false self. The ego is the artificial self that distances you from your true self. It is always seeking external validation, superficial success, and achieving goals that are often defined by the desire to be superior to others. When you listen to the ego, you're constantly comparing yourself to others. The ego traps you in an endless cycle of seeking approval, fame, and power, yet true satisfaction never comes, because no matter what you achieve, the ego always wants more. This ego, rooted in your thoughts, prevents you from attaining real happiness because true happiness comes from within, not from external sources. But how can you detach from this ego, this false self that has been ingrained in you for so long? The first step is to realize that the ego is just a thought. Whenever you think, I am better than others, or I am more successful than others, you are feeding the ego. But if you can distance yourself from these thoughts and see them as separate from your true identity, you have taken the first step toward liberation. To push aside the ego, you must ask yourself a critical question. Who am I without all these labels, achievements, and comparisons? Is there an identity within you that is complete in itself, needing no external validation? One key method to detach from the ego is practicing presence in the moment. Whenever the ego begins to take over your mind, it pulls you into the past or future. But if you can return your attention to the present moment, the ego will lose its power over you. Through practices like meditation and mindfulness, you can access your true self, beyond the ego. This journey toward discovering your true self means shedding all the artificial identities the ego has created for you throughout your life. Once you leave the ego behind, you will experience a sense of freedom and peace that material achievements could never provide. Now, the question you face at the end of this chapter is, are you ready to let go of the ego and discover your true self? The answer to this question lies only in the present moment, in an experience you must realize for yourself. Chapter 5. The Inner Body, Listening to the Voice of Peace. How much attention have you paid to your body? Not just its appearance, but the feelings and energies flowing within it. Many of us get so caught up in our daily routines that we neglect the connection with our inner body. However, our body is not only a vessel for navigating the physical world but also a powerful tool for finding deep inner peace and awareness. Your body constantly sends you signals, feelings, tensions, and energies flowing through it all reflect your inner state. Yet most of us have become accustomed to ignoring or suppressing these signals. When stress or worry manifests as physical tension in your body, it's an opportunity to listen to your inner voice. If you pay attention to these sensations and connect with your inner body, you can tap into a vast source of peace and awareness. A technique that holds special importance here is being present in the body. This means consciously paying attention to your body and experiencing its inner sensations in each moment. For instance, as you read these words, direct your focus to your hands. Can you feel the presence of your hands without looking at them? This mindful attention to your body is one way to enter the present moment and free yourself from negative thoughts. A simple practice to begin connecting with your inner body is to spend a few minutes each day sitting in silence and focusing on your breath and the sensations flowing within your body. Can you feel the tension? Can you sense the flow of energy within? This practice helps you become more familiar with your inner body and use it as a tool to return to peace. But why does connecting with your inner body have such a profound impact on peace? Your body is always in the present moment. Unlike the mind, which travels to the past or future, your body exists here and now. When you shift your focus to your body, you naturally return to the present moment and free yourself from negative thoughts and psychological stress. The inner body is like a sanctuary you can return to at any time. Whenever you feel anxiety or stress, simply pause and listen to your body. This listening to the voice of peace from within will lead you to a deeper peace than any external source could provide. At the end of this chapter, ask yourself, can I form a closer and deeper relationship with my body? Am I ready to listen to its inner signals and use them as a tool for growth and awareness? If your answer is yes, this marks the beginning of a journey toward peace and inner awareness, which you can experience through your body. Chapter 6. Acceptance, the key to inner peace. Have you ever resisted something that happened in your life? Perhaps when faced with difficult circumstances, you asked yourself, why did this happen to me? Or maybe you tried everything to change the situation, only to feel stressed and exhausted. The truth is, the more we resist reality, the further we move away from peace. Acceptance, especially in tough moments, is the key that can lead us to true inner peace. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean you have to accept the situation passively and stop trying. Rather, it means first seeing the situation as it is and acknowledging it. When you resist reality, you only harm your mind and body. This resistance creates stress, anxiety, and ultimately dissatisfaction. But when you accept something, you let go of what you cannot control and find inner peace. For example, when you're faced with a situation beyond your control, like losing a job, illness, or any unpleasant event, the first reaction is usually resistance. We want to change or escape the situation. But this reaction only wastes our energy and traps us in a cycle of worry and hopelessness. Acceptance means acknowledging that the situation is as it is. This acceptance comes from strength, not weakness, because when you accept, your mind becomes free to think clearly about how to deal with the situation. Acceptance allows you to focus your energy on what you can control and release what is beyond your control. But how can we practice acceptance in difficult circumstances? One practical way is to pause when faced with a problem and ask yourself, can I change this situation? If the answer is no, instead of resisting, accept it and see how you can use the experience for your growth. Another practice is to focus on what you still have rather than what you've lost. Acceptance includes appreciating the present moment and what's available to you. When you focus on the positive and what you can control, you'll feel more peace within yourself. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. When you can accept reality without resistance, there's nothing left to create stress or tension in your mind. Acceptance means you are in harmony with the flow of life, ready to find inner peace even in the hardest moments. At the end of this chapter, ask yourself, can I accept the things beyond my control and stop resisting internally? Can I find a path to true peace through acceptance of reality? The answer to this question is the key to remaining calm and strong during life's storms. Chapter 7. Conscious Relationships, Building Healthy Connections. Have you ever thought about how much your relationships impact your life? Have you ever felt that the relationships you are involved in, instead of bringing happiness and growth, have led to tension and anxiety? In today's world, many of our relationships are influenced by ego, judgment, and unrealistic expectations. However, conscious relationships, which are based on awareness, love, and being present, can become a deep and fulfilling experience. Conscious relationships mean creating connections that are founded on true presence without judgment. This means being fully present in every interaction with others, without letting ego interfere. Instead of seeking approval or focusing on others' flaws and mistakes, you listen deeply to their presence and emotions. The first step to building conscious relationships is to direct your attention to yourself and others. This means focusing on being genuinely present in each interaction, without your mind rushing to judge or analyze. Listen to others and try to understand their feelings and needs. This kind of attention naturally leads to healthier and more intimate relationships. How can we achieve these kinds of connections? One helpful technique is active listening. In this technique, you focus all your attention on what others are saying and try to truly listen, without judging or preparing a response in advance. This type of listening makes others feel respected and understood, which in turn strengthens relationships. Also, practicing presence in the moment can help foster conscious relationships. Instead of thinking about past issues or worrying about the future, direct all your attention to what is happening right now. When you are with others, let your full focus be on them and the present moment. This practice naturally deepens and strengthens your connections. A key question to ask yourself here is, can you replace ego and judgment with true, loving presence in your relationships? Can you create healthier and deeper connections by practicing active listening and focusing on the present? Conscious relationships, instead of being based on material needs or fleeting emotions, are built on awareness, respect, and being present in the moment. These kinds of relationships lead to a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction, allowing you to experience real connection and intimacy in your interactions. At the end of this chapter, ask yourself, am I ready to act with real presence and kindness in my relationships, instead of focusing on ego and judgment? Can I create healthier and more fulfilling relationships by being fully present and practicing active listening? The answers to these questions show whether you can make changes in your relationships that lead to greater well-being and happiness. Chapter 8. The Inner Goal, Finding the True Meaning of Life. What does your life mean? Are you striving solely for material success, making money, or achieving external goals? Or perhaps something deeper and more authentic lies within you? Many of us, in search of life's meaning and purpose, chase worldly successes. But are these achievements alone capable of providing the true meaning of life? The inner goal means discovering and understanding a deeper meaning in life that goes beyond material and worldly objectives. This inner goal is hidden in the experience of the present moment and inner awakening. When you focus your attention on the present and mentally and emotionally connect to it, you actually reach a deeper level of yourself and life. How can you discover this inner goal? One effective way to grasp the inner purpose is to look within and see what truly brings you joy and satisfaction. Does this happiness come from material achievements, or from real experiences and moments in life? Many of us seek external success and validation in daily life, but these are only part of the story. To find your inner purpose, you need to listen to yourself and your inner feelings. This means taking time to reflect on what truly matters to you and what gives you a sense of meaning and value. This might involve activities like meditation, self-awareness, and deep exploration of your feelings and experiences. Another method for finding your inner goal is recalling moments of joy and peace in your life. When have you truly felt alive, rather than just pursuing goals and achievements? These moments can be clues to your inner purpose and help you understand what brings meaning to your life. The important question here is, can you shift your focus from material and worldly goals to experiencing the present moment, an inner awakening? Are you ready to look within yourself, exploring the depth of your emotions and experiences to find the real purpose of life? The inner goal isn't just about achieving external success, but about gaining a deeper understanding of yourself and life. This inner goal is hidden in the experience of the present moment, an inner awakening, helping you achieve real satisfaction and peace. At the end of this chapter, ask yourself, can I find the true meaning of life by focusing on the present moment, an inner awakening? Am I ready to search beyond material goals for a deeper and more authentic purpose? The answers to these questions indicate whether you can reach a deeper level of life and self. Chapter 9. Ending the cycle of suffering. Why do you experience pain and suffering in life? Have you ever wondered why some painful experiences keep repeating? Many of us unconsciously get trapped in a cycle of suffering and anxiety that may seem endless. But what keeps this cycle going, and how can we stop it? The cycle of suffering often stems from repetitive mental and behavioral patterns that have unconsciously taken root in our lives. These patterns usually include negative thoughts, fears, and limiting beliefs that lead us to repeat painful experiences. Understanding these patterns and finding a way to end them is the first step towards achieving peace and freedom from ongoing suffering. To break this cycle, the first step is awareness. You must become fully conscious of these painful and negative patterns. Once you identify them, you can start changing them. Paying attention to your thoughts and feelings and examining their source helps you understand how these patterns have formed and how you can free yourself from them. An effective technique for this is practicing present moment awareness. This means that whenever you feel pain or anxiety, quickly focus your attention on the present moment and distance yourself from negative thoughts and emotions. By focusing on what is happening now, you can prevent the repetition of painful patterns and achieve more peace. For example, if you're in a situation that causes discomfort or anxiety, instead of getting lost in these emotions, shift your focus to your breathing, the sounds around you, or even the physical sensations in your body. This technique helps you return to the present moment and a calmer experience, rather than getting stuck in negative cycles. The question is, can you identify these painful patterns and, using awareness and present moment practice, work to end them? Are you ready to use awareness exercises to break free from this cycle and reach a new state of peace? Ending the cycle of suffering means breaking negative patterns and achieving true peace. By becoming aware of these patterns and practicing present moment awareness, you can effectively free yourself from ongoing suffering and lead a calmer and more joyful life. At the end of this chapter, ask yourself, can I break the cycle of suffering by identifying and changing negative patterns? Am I ready to use awareness and simple practices to gain freedom from continuous pain? The answers to these questions show whether you can achieve real peace and freedom from suffering. Chapter 10. Living in the moment, turning awareness into a lifestyle. Can you imagine your life being fully influenced by the awareness of the present moment? Can you transform what you experience in daily life in a way that helps you remain in a constant state of peace and satisfaction? Living in the moment means not only fully experiencing individual moments, but also turning this awareness into a sustainable lifestyle. Living in the moment means directing your attention to every moment of life and enjoying it fully. But for many of us, turning this awareness into a lasting lifestyle is a major challenge. Modern life is often filled with speed, social pressures, and daily stresses. However, with practice and constant implementation, you can make present moment awareness an inseparable part of your life. To implement awareness in daily life, the first step is turning it into a habit. This means creating small and consistent practices that help you remain aware and present in every moment of your life. For instance, you can incorporate practices like meditation, deep breathing, or even mindful walking into your daily routine. These practices help you maintain present moment awareness in your life. Another way to turn awareness into a lifestyle is the practice of moment logging. This means that whenever you engage in daily activities, remember to focus fully on that activity. For example, when you're eating, pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of the food and enjoy each bite fully. This kind of focus helps create a deeper and more satisfying experience of life. Moreover, to integrate present moment awareness into your life, you should approach life's challenges with this perspective. Instead of viewing problems and stresses as obstacles to happiness, see them as opportunities to practice awareness and personal growth. This perspective helps you experience more peace and satisfaction in the face of difficulties. The question here is, can you turn present moment awareness into daily habits and a lifestyle? Are you ready to implement this awareness in all aspects of your life with small practices and a change in perspective? Living in the moment means fully experiencing each moment and turning this experience into a lasting lifestyle. By consistently implementing present moment awareness and changing your perspective on life, you can achieve deeper peace and satisfaction and live a more joyful and meaningful life. At the end of this chapter, ask yourself, can I transform present moment awareness into daily habits and a sustainable lifestyle? Am I ready to make these changes and practice regularly to achieve a life of quality and meaning? The answers to these questions will show whether you can make present moment awareness an inseparable part of your life. Final section and conclusion. In this journey, from understanding the concept of the present moment to transforming it into a sustainable way of life, we explored various dimensions of awareness and its impact on our lives. From inner awakening to ending cycles of suffering, each chapter of this book helped us delve deeper into our being and discover new ways to experience a meaningful and peaceful life. Living in the moment is a concept that goes beyond a specific technique or method. It becomes a way of thinking and acting. This philosophy teaches us to be fully present in every moment of our lives and to enjoy each experience completely. This presence helps us break free from daily complexities and stresses, leading us to true peace. By applying the exercises and techniques discussed in this book, we can free our lives from negative and painful patterns and move towards a deeper and more fulfilling life experience. This process shows us how, by embracing the present moment and turning it into a lifestyle, we can achieve genuine life satisfaction and inner contentment. It's important to remember that this journey toward mindful living requires commitment and continuous practice. These changes occur gradually over time, and each small step towards awareness and presence can have a profound impact on our lives. Therefore, we must continue this process with patience and persistence, using every moment as an opportunity for growth and learning. Finally, the following questions can serve as a guide for continuing this mindful journey. Can I make awareness of the present moment an inseparable part of my daily life? Am I ready to achieve deeper peace and satisfaction through continuous practice and a shift in perspective? How can I use life's challenges as opportunities for growth and learning? Answering these questions and applying the lessons from this book to everyday life can help us achieve a high-quality, meaningful life and experience a deep sense of satisfaction in every moment. I hope this book serves as an inspiration and guide on your path to mindful and joyful living, helping you reach the true depth of life in yourself.